Hey, how's it going, guys? It is Thursday, February 22nd, and I'm heading to drop off some flyers at the property that I have listed in Sevierville because I did a price reduction and now I have to replace the flyers. But I learned a good technique today, and that is that don't put the price on the flyers that you leave at a listed home. For example, in the brochure box on the for sale sign, or in the house, which is where mine are at. Because every time you do a price reduction, you're going to have to change them. Okay? So, and additionally, if someone gets the flyer and they're interested in the house, they're going to need to call you to find out how much the house is being listed for. So now you have a lead. I did not think of that. And it is so obvious that I feel stupid that I didn't think of that. But there you go. There's a tip for today. No listing prices on your material. Make sure that the leads are calling you for that information. I also and I learned that at the Holly McRae group here in Knoxville. And they are the biggest team in East Tennessee, in the state, really. They just got second place in the highest sales volume, highest producing team in the Southeast region, and only lost by $200,000. They were $8.3 million is what they produced last year. No. 80.3 million is what they produced last year. So I interviewed with them. Holly McRae is a force to be reckoned with. That's a powerful woman. She knows it, and I like it. She gives off. At first, I was thinking, this lady's a stuck-up bitch. And by the end of the interview, I was thinking, this lady is the shit. This lady knows how good she is. She knows the industry. She knows where she wants to go, and I'm not used to talking to people like that, and it just kind of makes me reflect on how insecure I used to be and how I would meet people like that and instantly write them off as stuck up, conceited, or whatever the case may be. And in reality, their confidence was just making me a little more aware of the fact that I was so insecure, you know? And, man, how much I've grown since then. I mean, granted, I'm not over it completely, or else I wouldn't have walked in with that initial thought of this woman, but I got over it real fast, so that is some growth. And, her team is high producing. You do got to start off as a buyer's agent and graduate to a listing agent. And I know I want to just be a listing agent, but you know, it doesn't hurt to learn both sides, obviously. So I'm considering taking and joining. I got to do a second interview with their team leader, or their the general manager who manages the agents. I don't know what you call him. I think she called him a general manager, but I don't know what you call him. But he's basically an agent manager. And man, this team, they have basically, you don't pay for anything except for your monthly tech fee and your dues to the board, and you are provided everything. They do your marketing, they get the contracts ready for you. All you have to do as an agent is follow up with leads, close on the leads, and sign the paperwork and release the inspection results, or, you know. So really, like, she's got an entire marketing team, she's got an entire administrative team that does the paperwork, She's even got a team that follows up initially on the leads, and her leads, they don't do a lot of cold prospecting. All their leads are people that have reached out with interest to buy real estate by going into their app, their websites, and things like that. But you have the agents do some initial first contacts, but for the most part, most of the agents are just handed the contacts, and your job is just to follow up and close. So that's, you know, you can look at it a lot of ways. Like I said, if I stuck with EXP and I mastered her and I become successful, I'm most definitely going to be an incredible real estate agent. Being on a team, I can see where, you know, you're not going to get a lot of experience in things, such as you're not going to know how to market yourself, you're not going to know how to do the paperwork that well, and you're not going to know how to prospect. But if you want to get comfortable with the three big things that are most important for an agent, she put it this way: there's 400 steps in a real estate transaction from start to finish. There are only 3 important steps that make money, and the other 397 steps can be done by somebody else, whether you have virtual assistants, administration working for you, or whatever. And she only requires her agents to do those 3 things, and that is, you know, closing on the client, closing on the house, and can't remember the third thing. But still, you know, anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. That's where I am right now. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I mean, I'm still partial to, I still love EXP, but I need to get some more traffic, some high volume traffic. I got a wife and daughter to think of, and I'm just worried that I'm going to run out of money before I get to a place where I can actually contribute back to my family again. Right now we're living off of my savings, and my wife is working and covering a majority, the bulk of our bills, and it's I don't want to run out of that savings before something starts happening. So, you know, I still have time. I need to unload this listing before I'm even able to transfer to another brokerage. So I've got some thinking to do. I'm talking to a second broker today from Exit Realty to see what he has to say. And, you know, like I said, then I have to make a choice. By the way, I did want to share another story with you. This morning I called a guy. I was prospecting for sale by owners, and this gentleman answered the phone, and he got right to the point. He was very direct, Russian guy, and said, are you calling because you want to sell my house? And I said, well, you know, I am calling because I would be interested in talking more about selling your house, but I don't know if I can sell it because I've never seen it. And he said, well, I'll let you sell my house for 3%. And I said, well, do you mean you'll give me 3% if I bring a buyer? And he said, no, I'll let you list it for 3%. And I kind of chuckled and said, well, you realize that 3% gets split 4 different ways, and you know, at 3%, you know, I'm only going to do 3%'s worth of marketing, which isn't going to be a whole lot more than putting it on the MLS and you know, putting a sign in the yard, and or else I'm not going to make any money on the deal. And you know, he pushed it a little more, and then he had to get off the phone because he had somewhere to be. So I'm going to call him back and try to see if he'll, you know, if we can negotiate that commission, or at least call him back and see if I can see the property, because I think that there's a possibility of negotiating. But anyway, I posted on Facebook, would you take a listing for 3%? And I was surprised at how many people said that they would, and how many people were telling me to do it. Even after I broke down the fact that, you know, after split with the cooperating agent, split with your broker, taking out the marketing money, not to mention the fact that the house is probably going to sit for a very long time because no buyer agent is really going to want to go see that house when you're only got a 1.5% cooperation commission. And not to mention the fact that you need to set standards for yourself. So that's the point I'm getting at. So I was surprised by that. I got back into my cold calling, and not 5 calls later, I set an appointment for a home that's worth twice as much as the guy's house that wanted the 3%. And this caller asked me as well, what are the standard commission rates for agents right now? And I said, well, it depends on the agent. It's all negotiable, but on average, it's from 5 to 6%. And he said, okay, that's what I figured. And we're meeting Saturday to go at his house so I can get a look at it and try to close on this listing. So the point being is, something I learned yesterday was you got to set standards for yourself. We all got into this business because we wanted to control how we work, who we work with, when we work, and I know it gets scary. I mean, I'm there several times a day in this scary place where you're worried you're not going to hit your goals, you're going to be a failure. You're wasting your time. You better go get a job, and then you just start taking whatever you can get. But I was reminded that, once you do that, it's a snowball effect. First of all, if you take a house at 3% and you do sell it, and this client ever comes back to you for a deal again, for business, they're going to expect 3%. And if they send any referrals to you, their friends are going to expect 3%. So now you just created this vicious cycle of 3% business. Okay? And then you're also surrounding yourself with these types of people that think that your time is worth no more than 50% of 3%. So, is that the type of people you want to work with? Somebody that's going to lowball you at 3%, knowing that the standard is much higher than that? I mean, no. I mean, I don't want to work with people like that. I'm pretty sure you don't either. So set your standards, guys, and stick to them. Don't lower them for anybody, because you're the only person that's going to protect yourself. Nobody else is. Your broker's not going to go out there and negotiate a higher fee for you, and the buyer's agent definitely isn't going to do it, and the seller definitely isn't going to do it. So you gotta set your own standards and stick to them, guys. All right, that's all I got right now. I'll holler at you.